Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be. This is Jim Sports Cards, and you look Jim Sports Cards. I'm Jim, so let's talk about sports cards. This has been a day long in the making. Ever since PSA announced they were shutting down back in March, every collector under the sun that's interested in grading or PSA has been waiting for PSA to reopen. Now, at the time of recording this, it is a week away. So, with that being said, there's a lot of misinformation going around. There's a lot of false information going around. There's a lot of no information going around. What I'm going to do in this video is outline to you what we're doing at Jim Sports Cards, what we've been doing over the last 3 months, and what the process will be over the next 2 weeks, month, and moving forward with PSA reopening service levels. So knowing that, let's get into it. Let's dive in. So first of all, it's been a very long time since we've had any normal submissions. For the past 3 months, we've been hearing drips of information, still doing the Super Express, which you guys have found really popular, and we've been received really well. I get tags all times of the day in different Facebook groups, Instagrams, saying, oh, who's still doing PSA submissions? And the answer is always us. So thank you guys for your support, because without you guys supporting us, championing us, and selling our name out there, we wouldn't still be here today. So a big thank you to everyone that submitted, that suggested us, recommended us, anyone that puts a positive vibe on our name. It's very much appreciated. With the new, I say new, with PSA returning, making their triumphant comeback, we decided to change things up. We've got a new logo, a new look, which is really great. It was designed by JD Designs, which is below now, and this is going to carry us through what we call a new era for Jim Sports Cards as PSA reopens. So with PSA reopening, everyone is in the DMs with a lot of questions saying, what's going on? Why aren't PSA reopening? When are PSA reopening? When are they accepting new cards? You will find out everything in this video. It might go long, it might go 10 minutes, it might go 30. I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. But sit tight. First things first, I will tell you what we have heard from PSA and what the official information is. So what is really important to us is that we convey to you the official information that has come out from PSA. No rumors via Instagram or blowout cards forums or anything like that. The official information. The official information changed from when PSA first shut down to now. When they first shut down, the exact wording from PSA was they aim to reintroduce all service levels bit by bit by the 1st of July. That quickly became apparent, or it became apparent to us that wasn't going to be the case, and PSA changed their wording. When there was a letter from the Vice President out to all collectors, everyone got an email that has a PSA account. The wording changed, and not a lot of people noticed this, but the wording changed to, we will start to reintroduce service levels by July 1st. So that still remains true today. We know for a fact not all submission levels will reopen on the 1st. And our best bet is that they'll start with the most expensive first. So that is the Express at, I believe, what we used to charge at £145 per card. We believe that they'll be reintroduced effectively fastest to slowest, because the slowest timelines are the cheapest and get the most cards, and PSA don't want to go from receiving X amount of cards today to 10, 20 times that overnight. They want to ease into it. So we know that it's almost certain that the value submissions aren't coming back on the 1st. They could surprise us, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. So with that being said, one other big point of information that has not been shared by PSA, that has not been confirmed, that is not set in stone, is A, what submission levels are coming back or in what form. B, the price of these submission levels. We saw the base submission level be suspended back in January or February when the price has doubled. And then we've now seen all others around it also be suspended. We don't know if this submission level is coming back or if it's gone for good. We don't know what PSA are going to bring to the table in a week's time. We also don't know the pricing. Our best guess and our estimate as collectors and somewhat experts in this area is that pricing will stay the same. PSA went through doubling their prices after a month, and then a month or for 1 month, and then shut down completely. So the doubling clearly didn't have the desired effect they wanted it to have. However, I don't think they'll see this as an opportunity to go down. They're not going to want to flood themselves. They're not going to want to suddenly overwhelm their entire system overnight. That being said, I doubt we will see price decreases when they relaunch. Again, I would say this about 10 times this video. I could be wrong. This is my opinion. This is how we're approaching it. Nothing is set in stone. We don't think they'll decrease prices, but we are even more sure that they will not increase prices. An price increase after shutting most collectors out for 3 months, 4 months almost, after doubling prices for 1 month before, it's brand suicide. It's saying, okay, other companies like SGC and BGS, for the most part whilst they were out, BGS are now suspended, stayed open. SGC doubled their prices, but then brought them back down straight away because they realised it wasn't the right thing to do. If PSA doubles prices, shuts for 3 months, then comes back and increases prices even more, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know if that happened. I wouldn't know how to knowingly stay as a PSA submitter myself, knowing the kind of company I'm dealing with. It's extremely bad faith, so we expect them not to go up. So those are the 2 key pieces of information that we need to convey to you for this. Many, just some submission levels are coming back on the 1st of July. 2, no pricing has been confirmed. We can make our best guess. Nothing has been confirmed. So that is for definite what we know, what we are on track for in a week's time. So with the boring stuff and the clarity out of the way, because if I tell people to go watch a YouTube video and they say, what service levels are coming back on the 1st? If you haven't watched the YouTube video, fine. If you have, and I have to say it again, I will get tired and my voice will die. Now, the important thing and the interesting thing for you is what we're doing about it. So we want to prepare you and have ourselves as prepared as we can for when the 1st happens. The first thing to note, and this is only applicable to a very small number of collectors, is collectors that submitted with us before the shutdown. Those cards we kept, and those cards will be sent off by themselves as and when the service becomes available. The second that we hear that the service is available, those cards will be sent off with FedEx and there the very next day. Those will be completely separate. No cards can be added to these, and no cards can be added by external collectors that want to jump in. Those are completely separate. Those are only applicable to a few collectors that have already submitted with us, waiting for us. What we're doing is, as of today through to next week, we are setting up a pre-order system. So how this will work is, if you submitted with us, you'll be very familiar with our process. You go onto our website, which is here. I can't do a fancy transition, it will just appear. You will go onto our website, download our form, fill out the form, and send it back to us. We will confirm, and that will be it. We expect you to package your cards up, get them ready, and get them by your front door, ready to send to us, because we know how eager you all are to get your cards into PSA. We will not take any money from you, and any money shown on the submission forms is the last known price for the submission level. These are subject to change, and as and when PSA reopens, we will email all collectors with the confirmed pricing and submission levels that are opened that have registered with our pre-order service. I will say that again. The pricing on the form is the last known pricing and is not the guaranteed price you will pay. It could be more than this per card. It could be less than this per card. We will finalize pricing once PSA officially reopen and we know what has opened up on the 1st. So that being said, what we'll do, you guys send in your pre-order forms, we will keep them, and then on the 1st, everyone that has registered pre-order interest for a service level that comes live on the 1st will get an email saying this service level is now live at X price. This is now available for you to pay on the website. Once you've paid on the website, you can send those through to us, and we are having a hard deadline of Wednesday the 7th of July. So almost 1 week after. So that gives you plenty of time, if you've registered interest in our pre-order service, to get your cards into us. There are no ifs or buts. If it is not in my hand by the 7th, it will go into our next submission level. Not our next submission level, our next window. That is what we will do. We will obviously be getting more information on the 1st about, we'll introduce Express now, this will come back in 2 weeks time, and there'll be another video like this where we will act on it. But that pre-order service will happen from the 1st, or from now, the 23rd, to the 1st, all the way through to the 7th. So once we know what's happening on the 1st, that will then turn from pre-orders into actual orders. So if you haven't pre-ordered with us, you can still submit your form, send in your cards, but they have to be with us by the 7th. That is our cutoff date. From there, we would have already sent off some of the cards, if not all, that we are sat with now. They will go on the 2nd, after we know what's happened on the 1st. These cards will then go on the 8th, a week later. And once we know more information, I'll put out another video in 2 weeks' time saying what's happening. The likelihood will be new submission windows, and then 4 submission levels that we don't know yet will be ready and agile to move when they're available or what happens. So that's the process. We're trying to make it as simple as we can with the knowledge that we don't know much. We just want to keep things flexible. We're not letting you pay on the website until we know what's back up and at what price. If you pre-order with us, you have no obligation to follow through with it if the pricing comes back and you're not happy with it, or you simply change your mind. This is just so you can get ready. We do as much pre-work as we can, so the moment it's announced, all the pre-work is done. You can just pack it, send it to us, nice and easy. So, as a TLDR, too long didn't read, too long didn't watch. The information we know from PSA. Something's coming back on the 1st. We don't know what. We don't know how much. 2nd, we don't know the price of what's coming back. Could go up in price, down in price, stay the same. We don't know. What are Gym Sports Cards doing? Pre-order service. We do the paperwork and sort out everything for you. When things are confirmed on the 1st, you send in your cards to us, pay on the website. Done super quick. We're getting them off to PSA quicker than you can say Super Express Plus. Cool. That's essentially what I've said in the previous, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But all of that information is necessary so you know what to expect and you know what kind of service we're offering. The website's been updated. You'll now see this video on the website as well. So if you go onto the website, you'll see this video if you want to rewatch it before you submit, just to make sure that everything's fine. And our Instagram DMs and Facebook messages are always open for any questions you might have. I think that's everything. I think I've covered everything. It's good. We're getting back to normality. PSA's reopening, and whilst I love handling the Ronaldo autos, the kabooms, the thousands and thousands of pounds worth of cards, it's nice to get the hobby feel back so people can grade their PCs for less than a month's rent. For some people, depends on how expensive it is. But it's good. We're getting back to normal. And on that note, I've been Jim, and this has been Jim Sports Cards. Cheers!